don't think y'all understand just how excited I am to see these stretches. See these hockey men do them stretches. Oh my God, up close and personal. They doing that. They doing it. Just when I thought the best thing about baseball was the doggone scrumdiddlyicious tight fitted pants they be wearing. 21. Can you use some? Oh yes, you can. Do something for me. Ooh, it looks like a Christmas morning. But instead of presents, baby, I get some fine mint. Hello, damn. I'm trying to be in between the flags.
It wouldn't be TikTok if it weren't controversial, right? Hey, what's up, Spencer? My name is everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you are somebody who likes books, anime, or any aspects of fandom, then make sure to subscribe because I am constantly uploading reading vlogs, anime reviews, and fandom discussions. And today we are discussing TikTok, but not just TikTok, but the subculture which is BookTok, but not just the subculture which is BookTok, but the subculture which is hockey BookTok, but not just the subculture which is hockey BookTok, but the subculture which is hockey BookTok that is obsessed with Seattle Kraken hockey player Alex Wenberg. Now, if you've existed in any sort of fandom, then you're probably familiar with the concept of fancasting, or picking out real-life celebrities to play fictional characters. And while this is a pretty common and relatively harmless thing to do, recently BookTok has overstepped its fancasting bounds to the point that it led to the legitimate sexual harassment of a real-life person. BookTok has been around for several years now with the rise and fall of several trends, and the current BookTok trend is contemporary hockey romance. And because publishers love to reflect whatever is popular on BookTok, that means that there has been an increase in the market of hockey contemporary romance, with such titles such as Icebreaker, Behind the Net, and Pucking Around. God, I could make a whole separate video just on the sexual innuendos that these hockey titles make. And with the rise of hockey romance has come the rise of hockey thirst traps.
Mom, what are you doing?
I'm watching hockey.
And because capitalism is capitalism, several hockey social media teams actually took notice of this rise in BookTok's interest in hockey thirst traps and started posting several of their own, which led to the situation that happened between Kraken hockey player Alex Wenberg, his wife Felicity Wenberg, and BookToker Cara Lewis. Now, in order to talk about this, let's go back about 4 months. Cara has been growing as a BookToker, and it's easy to see why. She's outgoing and bubbly and just really fun to watch.
Bitch got a dragon! My bitch got a dragon! Bitch, I'm so hyped! And the way she had Jack over there running like a little fucking girl! Woo!
It's no surprise that she's currently sitting at over 1 million followers, one of the reasons being because of her sports thirst traps. On April 26th, Cara posted a TikTok vlogging her experience of watching hockey for the first time, making it very clear that she wasn't interested in watching hockey because she had become interested in the sport, but instead because she had heard about the groin stretches.
I'm about to watch my first hockey game and I'm hyped the fuck up! Woo! I don't even know who fucking playing, but all I know is I want to see some of them groin stretching. I want to see some of that. Hello! Somebody blow my back out, bitch. It's getting kind of sad for you, Keith. But anyways, vlog time. Come on, Seattle. Crack they back. Crack they. Matter of fact, crack my back. Crack my back.
Cara continued to watch and make videos about the Seattle hockey team Kraken, leading hard into the joke "crack my back," which is a play on the joke "break my back," which is very obviously a sexual innuendo. And because Cara was such a big BookToker, it wasn't long before the social media side of the Seattle Kraken team took notice and started giving her positive attention, liking and commenting on her videos. The team even leaned into the BookTok hype by changing their bio to mostly BookTok and starting to post thirst traps of their players walking in slow motion. On May 9th, less than 2 weeks after her first post about watching a Kraken hockey game, the team actually flew Cara Lewis out to one of their games, gifting her with a jersey once she got there.
Baby, reporting live from the Kraken game. They got me a gift. Let's see what it is. Oh my God. Oh, now that's what I'm talking about, baby. We doing it for BookTok.
Kiera then proceeded to make jokes about how she's late to everything except this game because of how much she wanted to see the groin stretches, and spends the entire game yelling extremely explicit things at the players.
Baby, it's warm-up time. Let's fucking go. Ah! They doing it. They doing it. Wenberg! 21. Can you do something? Oh, yes, you can. Yes, Turbo. My man. I love you. Oh my God, it's like heaven. They're all on their knees right now. I fucking love it.
She later admits that she didn't realize that the players could hear the things that she was screaming at them, which in a way makes this so much worse.
No, because why the hell did nobody tell me they could hear me? Bitch, when you at the zoo, don't the glass cover the damn sound? So you telling me, bitch, they heard me saying crack my back. They heard me saying what a sister got to do to become that ice for you to do groin stretches on her face. Bitch, when I tell you, I'm so fucking embarrassed, especially, honestly, no, if Dunn heard me, baby, a sister meant every fucking word. I'ma say it and own it with my chest.
She's basically admitting that she knows what she's doing is wrong, but thinks it's okay that she can sexualize them as long as she thinks that there's a way that they can't see or hear her doing it. And this is just such an internet point of view to have, where it's okay to say and do terrible things about other people as long as for some reason they won't see it, or there's this internet wall between you and the person that you're saying these things about. It's just so easy to forget that people are people and that they are affected by the things that you say and do, whether you think that they're going to see it or not. Hell, we can even see from the Colleen Ballinger situation that things that you say in private DMs are not safe from reaching the people that you said these terrible things about. On July 28th, Felicia Wenberg, wife of Alex Wenberg of the Seattle Kraken, went and posted on an Instagram story addressing the numerous BookTokers who were sexually harassing her husband online. So I've joked before and called my husband BookTok's wank bank. Which, oh my God, why would you do that? And honestly did not mind. I always thought that Alex was the most beautiful person in the world, and it just seems that the world finally caught up to it. Aww. The reason I struggle to navigate this is while I'm all for female empowerment, and especially around sex, there has been videos and comments that has crossed the line of what it means to fancy someone and when it actually sounds pretty predatory and exploiting. For someone who wrote my final dissertation on sexual consent and what's crossing the line, this has been especially interesting because there seemed to be a different threshold of what is considered okay only because the victims of people's desires are male hockey players. I don't like that double standard. I feel that women who have experienced catcalling, getting involuntarily filmed in exposed situations, like a groin stretch at a job, should hold ourselves to a higher standard. You can be sex positive without exploiting others. Again, I genuinely don't care about the comments and my husband's looks. He's so beautiful, right? I don't like, but at least I understand that people try to shoot their shot and DM him even if I myself would not go for someone in a relationship. That is at least somewhat of a normal behavior when fancying someone. What doesn't sit with me is when your comments come with sexual harassment, inappropriate comments, and the fact that with the internet, we can normalize behavior that would never be okay if we flip the genders around to a guy doing this to a female athlete. When we were expecting our son, I knew how important it was to raise him to treat people, and especially women, with respect if he were to identify as straight. And I would feel like a hypocrite if I didn't say anything about behavior I would never be okay with if we raised a girl. I mean no hate on the BookTok community, just a little request for people to think twice about their comments/videos or chanting "crack my back" at humans with feelings. I agree with this so much. There are so many times in which people think that men can't be victims of sexual harassment, but this is a perfect example of how they can. And what makes me really sad is the women who take joy out of doing this to men, because I know that in their heads, they're kind of sticking it to the patriarchy. Either they're showing that they're empowered women by being really open about their sexual attraction, or they're showing men what it's like to be on the receiving end, both of which isn't great. I'm sure that anybody can tell you that it doesn't feel good to have people push sexual advances on you or make unwanted comments about your body. And to think that you're tearing the patriarchy down by sexually harassing men instead of creating more victims is part of the reason why the patriarchy still exists. We're having this fight of men versus women instead of realizing that this isn't an okay way to treat anybody. Cara replied to this Instagram post across several TikToks that she released on July 28th.
It's come to my attention that I'm not even gonna say people or a whole group of fucking people, because the views tell the fucking opposite. It's come to my attention that a couple of fucking people aren't a fan of me saying crack my back. For one, let's get one thing fucking straight. The original saying was break my back. That it pissed me off that these Facebook people want to come to TikTok and want to make us take this app seriously. When
they're probably trying to make you take this seriously because this is a serious thing. I don't know about you, but I take sexual harassment pretty seriously.
So to see my name being dragged with all these false accusations is it's blowing my mind. When I was doing these reactions when back in the country streets, when Luke Bryan's wife would literally repost my fucking videos about him.
Now you might be thinking, Spencer, I don't remember Kiara Lewis's name being brought up in Felicia's Instagram post. Well, you are wrong. If we go back to the second screenshot, we can very clearly see that Kiara's name is displayed as the creator of the video that Felicia was taking a screenshot of.
I've had other celebrities repost my reactions thinking it was funny. Their girlfriends, hell, their even moms were sending it to them like, girl, she's so funny. She's talking about like how hot you are.
Okay. That still doesn't make it okay. Lots of people think that homophobic, racist, or anti-Semitic jokes are funny, but that doesn't make it okay to tell them.
Especially when I tell y'all all the fucking time, these 30-second, 45-second videos is just for fun. I make these videos and I go out and live my life with my friends and my family. I genuinely don't take my life seriously.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem. You make all these silly little videos convinced that there's no way that they could have an effect on anybody else's life, when that's not true. It doesn't matter how long or short a video is, sexual harassment is sexual harassment.
Girl, it's jokes. And these jokes happened 4 or 5 months ago. I'm like, this is a screenshot from a video that happened earlier this year.
So, when has that ever mattered? Sometimes it takes people years to come out and talk about the sexual harassment that they face. And you're saying that we should ignore it because you did it 4 months ago? Sweetie, you are still doing this. Basically half of your TikTok page is just you making jokes about wanting to bone different guys. Just on July 23rd, you posted a video where you were screaming, "Arrest me," at a police officer and yelling about how much you desired him carnally. Kiara said that she was going to take a break from talking about this situation on TikTok, but returned only a few hours later when she discovered that the Seattle Kraken social media team had unfollowed her on TikTok.
And then, update, I just found out that I was unfollowed by the Seattle Kraken, all because someone who literally was just feeding into the whole BookTok thing. Oh yeah, my husband, BookTok, love him, da da da. Someone who was just feeding into it now is resurfacing, or now switching sides and saying, oh, because of this video 4 months ago, I'm not a fan, I don't like it.
Yup. That stuff happens. Like it or not, consent, because that's what this whole entire conversation really is all about, it can be taken or given at any time, no matter what situation. So yeah, it might suck that you can no longer make this content anymore, but Felicia is well within her right to change that consent and say that these jokes are no longer okay. Because that's the thing. A lot of people are cool with a lot of things until one person takes it too far and then everybody else jumps on the bandwagon and brings it to a place where it suddenly is no longer cool, and then the first person has to change things and say, actually, I'm not okay with this anymore. And then, of course, the person reestablishing that boundary, Felicia in this case, is told that they're a bad person for doing that. Because that's something that Kiera herself hasn't mentioned throughout this. While Kiera has been getting criticism for her behavior, Felicia herself hasn't been hate-free. But that's something that I'm actually going to get into a little bit further on in the video. Let's finish listening to what Kiera has to say first.
But what also pisses me off about, like, I've noticed with musicians and also like sports teams, they like to use BookTok to like get clout, and then they'll like skirt to the side of them and move on to like the next thing. And I'm not fucking rocking with that.
Yup. That's how brands work. They care about what's good for their image, and then the second you're not, you get dropped. But guess what? They are well within their right to do that.
But let's go into me being the adult and messaging Felicia Wenberg yesterday when I saw her make a story about me and BookTok. I literally said, hey, this is a screenshot from my video. I never meant any harm. I've never messaged him or anyone. Because on her story, she was like, well, people are DMing. And so I broke it down for her because she also said she wasn't a fan of Crack My Back. I said break my back was just a saying on TikTok, so naturally crack was said. But I am so sorry and will delete any and all videos you want. I was so serious. I will literally delete whatever videos you fucking wanted, but you needed to respond.
Now, I think what I'm going to say next might be a little bit controversial, but Kiera, the reason why Felicia didn't respond to your DM is because this situation isn't actually about you. Yes, her post did end up mentioning you, but really only by omission. Felicia needed an example of somebody who is making exploitative sexual content of her husband, and you happen to be the person that she picked. And her messaging you back would have just insinuated that this was about you, Kiera, the book talker, as opposed to this whole toxic situation as a whole. Also, Felicia made it glaringly obvious in her first post that she did not like the video. So why are you DMing her? Just delete them. Oh, wait, they're still on your page, despite her explicitly stating that she doesn't want them there.
And that's my biggest issue. Like, the reason why BookTok even was aware of the Krakens, or hell, half these hockey teams, is when they started doing all the slow-mos. Hey, BookTok, look at us, look at us. And the reason why I was even flown out was because of the vlogs of the Seattle Kraken game. The Alex Wenberg video that fucking went viral. So it wasn't like, oh, Kiera was the only one person doing this and nobody was aware. Everybody was, oh, crack my back. This is hilarious.
Now, this might actually surprise you, but I do agree with Kiera here. Kiera Lewis is, in the smallest way possible, a victim because she was goaded on by the Seattle Kraken social media team, and they themselves were posting their own thirst traps. Thirst traps that have now been deleted. But the Seattle Kraken's doing this doesn't make it at all okay. It just makes them just as wrong as Kiera is, which is the reason why they deleted their thirst traps. Unlike Kiera, the Seattle Kraken realized that they were doing something wrong and adjusted accordingly, which is what you're supposed to do when you realize that you've done something damaging, instead of pointing fingers and saying, but everybody else was doing it too.
And might I mention, you're coming after a black woman? Okay, yeah, I didn't like that.
Okay, I can kind of understand where she's coming from. As a black woman on the internet, I'm sure Kiera has gotten plenty of hate in the past. I don't think that this post was made to target her specifically, and even if it was, I think that it has a lot less to do with her being black than it has to do with the fact that she specifically was a person who was gaining direct privileges as a result from sexualizing Felicia's husband. Kiera being a black woman does not in any way mean that she is free from criticism or that it's impossible for her to do something that could be harmful to another person. Since her post, Felicia has received a lot of hate, having pictures of her son flooded with comments calling her racist, a clout chaser, and saying that she only made this statement because she feels threatened by book talkers. And those are just the comments that were allowed to stay on her page, because I can tell based on other people's responses that there were much more heinous, vile things said that have now been removed. And because Felicia ended up receiving so much hate, it led to her releasing the second Instagram story on July 29th. I really wanted my post to be one statement and be taken for what it was. A request for accountability, respect, boundaries, and for people to educate themselves on sexual harassment, consent, and the double standard I see online. I am, however, sorry to the creator to the video who took this as a direct attack on her. It was never my intention, but I chose that screenshot to show how her video got comments on it with 300 plus likes. I left that girl's name in it too. Where 300 plus people find a joke funny where she requests Alex and his teammates do all 3 of her holes. That is the problem I have. The toxic culture and the problematic following and harassing behavior. This is perfectly exemplified in my Insta comments right now. I did not include the name of the author in my first post because that girl is writing a spicy book with my husband as her inspiration, and I did not want to promote that in any way, and her sharing the groin stretch video and tagging Alex is crossing the line. I understand that people are confused by the timing of my statement, but while the creator is hung up on it being 4 months since she posted the video, she and her following seem to be unable to grasp that the video continued to show up in our life on a daily basis. Every game I've been to and talked to fans, I get it in my head about not knowing if these are genuine hockey fans or the people who comment that they masturbate with his jersey on. Yo! Y'all are commenting shit like that? No wonder she says that she doesn't want you guys making content anymore. You cannot be normal with shit. Everyone we meet talks to us about it, so it makes it extremely hard to continue to hope that this would all calm down. While I really want to believe a lot of it is innocent comments, I think this behavior I've seen since my post has proven my original point. I will continue to post pictures about my incredible husband and call him all the weird, cringy, inside joke nicknames I want because he is my husband, and I know he consents to my wording, my affection, and posts. If we say we don't appreciate your wording or posts, that should be enough. I don't mind the videos that are out there to still be up as the damage is already done, and those who are at fault should know that they are at fault after my first statement. This is why I did not interact with the creator, because my issue was never with her, but with the toxic collective. With that said, I don't want people to go after her. However, if you post videos that make people uncomfortable, maybe the videos are the issues and not the people that are made uncomfortable by them. All I did was give context to a situation where we have had enough and ask people to keep their desires and comments in a private conversation versus online where we and the other hockey families can see it. Lastly, there has always been a stigma for speaking up in the hockey world, which is why players are afraid to speak up about injustices and their families get worried that taking a stand would jeopardize their career. With the backlash I received, I can understand why. But I hope that this was a conversation that was long overdue in the hockey culture. Thank you for those who understand my heart, and sorry to those of you writing things about this with so much hate in yours. I agree with everything that Felicia has to say in her post. I think it's really sad to see how much hate she is getting simply for asking strangers to stop making so many sexual comments about her husband. It's also sad to see that so many of the people who are giving these unwanted comments are women, when it's usually women who are at the forefront of fighting against unwanted comments. Just because Alex is a man or works in hockey or whatever other excuse that you have, it does not make it okay for people to make sexual comments about him and his body. In fact, the situation got so bad that Alex himself ended up coming forward and releasing his own Instagram story on July 29th saying, "Over the last couple of days, me and especially my wife have been getting a lot of criticism about speaking up on sexual harassment on TikTok. As someone who's been media trained my whole career, I've been taught to bite my tongue and leave it instead of making a statement. But it has gone too far for me to stay quiet when people post vile comments on my wife's Instagram and on photos of our child. The reason my wife said something and not me is simply she does it better and more bravely than me. I'm all for the BookTok community to write books and fiction about hockey, but the aggressive language about real-life players is too much. It has turned into daily and weekly comments on our personal social media. This is not something we support or want our child to grow up with. All we ask for is a little respect and common sense regarding moving forward. We can all take a joke and funny comments, but when it turns personal and into something bigger that affects our family, we need to tell you that we have had enough. Enough of sexual harassment and harassment of our character and our relationship. Thank you for understanding. I think that it's really sad that the situation has gotten to this point. Alex specifically chose to address the situation by having his wife ask people stop sexualizing him, and it got them nothing but hate. Asking people to respect you or your loved ones should never be met with hate or people saying, "Oh, too bad, so sad, you're in too deep now." No matter what, consent can be changed at any time, in any situation, and it is our job as human beings to care about and respect that. Cara Lewis responded to all of this on July 29th. Yeah, this is all happening in the span of like 48 hours. I really don't know how, honestly. Cara released one final TikTok, which was just a screenshot of a Nos app saying, "On Thursday, Alex Wenberg wife, Felicia Wenberg, made posts not only attacking BookTok, but me as a person. She slandered my name. I'm sorry, but how can you be a BookToker with over 1 million followers, somebody who's supposed to read all the time, and have such terrible grammar? Oh my, you know what, never mind, it doesn't matter. She slandered my name by calling me a sexual harasser in reference to a saying that was clearly played off of the Seattle Kraken name, Crack My Back. Not only did she miss the joke of it being a spin-off of Break My Back, wait a minute. I'm confused. Is Cara saying that she can't be a sexual harasser because Felicia doesn't understand that her sexual joke is a reference to another sexual joke? Because Break My Back is a sexual innuendo, so I don't understand what Kiara's trying to say here. Is she just trying to say that jokes can't be sexual harassment in general? Because that isn't true at all. I'm just so confused as to what her point is supposed to be here. She purposelessly included my name in her Instagram story, which led to me receiving hate from her following. As Alex received more popularity, the wife enjoyed the clout and was seen appreciating BookTok's humor by calling her husband Mr. Panty Dropper and BookTok Wank Bank. Yes, that is something that she herself addressed in her post, and I'm sure that she hates herself for doing it now because you guys can't let it go and can't be normal. But suddenly out of left field, she decided to use a screenshot of a video I posted 4 months ago to call my clearly made jokes sexual harassment. Once again, jokes can be sexual harassment. In fact, let's take a moment to do a little bit of research on this. According to the sexual harassment and discrimination lawyers at the Derek Smith Law Group, quote, "Sexual joking constitutes sexual harassment when the behavior is unwelcome and or the victim has expressed they would like the conduct to stop." Now let's think. Has Kiara's behavior been unwelcome, and has Alex and his wife asked Kiara to stop? Because I think they might have. A victim may feel the need to engage or participate in inappropriate conduct even when the content is offensive and unwelcome. Cara keeps on saying that Felicia and Alex were okay with all of the jokes and comments that she and BookTok were making, and that Felicia is suddenly making a turn and coming out of left field when this absolutely isn't true. Behind closed doors, Felicia and Alex have probably been done with these sexual comments for a long ass time, and we're probably only going along with it because the team was getting so much positive attention on social media and was gaining so many followers. I mean, Felicia pretty much says this in her second post. Examples of sexual humor or comments: teasing regarding someone's sexuality or sexual orientation.
God damn, baby!
Sexual comments about someone's physical appearance or clothing.
The pictures don't do Wenberg justice. This boy's a fucking Ken doll.
Forwarding or generating sexual imagery and sending through email.
Luke Bryan wife would literally repost my fucking videos about him thinking it was funny. I've had other celebrities repost my reactions thinking it was funny. Their girlfriends, hell, their even moms were sending it to them like, girl, she's so funny. She's talking about like how hot you are.
Social media posts of a sexual nature directed towards you. Sexual stories or innuendos.
Crack my back! Crack my back!
I don't know about you, but Kiara Lewis is starting to look like a pretty textbook sexual harasser to me. Once I saw her post, I immediately DM her apologizing and offering a solution of me deleting any and all videos that mention Alex Wenberg. No response. Yesterday, I get home to find out the Seattle Kraken had unfollowed me and deleted all their thirst trap videos, which left me confused and upset. The Seattle Kraken not only took interest in my videos from the beginning that mention Alex Wenberg, but even encouraged me to keep posting, as well as them beginning to post their own thirst trap of Wenberg. Alright, I said it before and I will say it again. Neither Kiara? Have I been mispronouncing that this whole time? Neither Kiara or Seattle Kraken should have been posting those thirst traps. It is unfair that they led Kiara on with thinking that this was an okay thing to do, but trying to deflect and pretend that this behavior was ever an okay thing is a really sleazy thing for Kiara to pull. It's obvious that Kiara doesn't see what about her behavior is exactly problematic and damaging, and I'm not sure if she ever will. I want to also mention that my Seattle Kraken reactions and vlog led to them flying me out to their playoff games and gifting me a BookTok jersey. This event led to them gaining over 60,000 followers. Instead of messaging me and explaining what was going on, the Kraken social media team just covered all tracks by deleting all videos related to BookTok and Wenberg. Kiara, I don't know why you think that the Seattle Krakens have more responsibility to you, a random influencer that they collabed with one time like 5 months ago, as opposed to their actual hockey team member who is a victim of your harassment. But I think you need to deflate that ego a little bit. You don't work together or have any sort of contract, so the Kraken team has absolutely no obligation to message you and give you any sort of heads up whatsoever. And to see videos of people calling me a sexual harasser when these reaction videos aren't new, I've made them about several stars and athletes whose wives and mothers have even sent them my videos and reposted it due to them understanding the humor. Most people I react to I don't follow, don't keep up with their lives, and damn sure never thought about DMing them. Again, if my video from April was an issue, I would have felt better if Felicia Wenberg would have just DM'd me, and of course I would have immediately taken it down, no questions asked. It's also unfair to call me out on a post when there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of videos on TikTok about him. Jesus Christ, Kiara, you missed every single point that Felicia was trying to make in her post. Felicia did not message Kiara because this is not about Kiara, but she did name Kiara because Kiara is a main perpetrator and is somebody who profits off of the exploitation of Alex Wenberg. Also, people like this will always end up saying, well, if you had just messaged me in private, then things would have been able to work out perfectly. When in reality, they're just using this as a way to try and silence victims. Something tells me that if Felicia had privately messaged Kiara, Kiara would still be having as much of a meltdown then as she is now. Because the point isn't that she's being asked to take these videos down, the point is that she's not allowed to use the Seattle Krakens and Alex Wenberg for clout anymore. And she's being rightly called out for some really problematic behavior. Alright, that's just about everything that I have on this topic. What do you think? Should Felicia have kept Kiara's name out of this entire situation, or is it good that she called out such a big content creator? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. But besides that, don't forget to stay safe and have a fantastic day. Bye. Alright, so let's read it through all of these puck pun titles. Puck yes, Puck me secretly, Hot Puck, The Big Puck, Down to Puck, Puck Bunny, Puck me, Puck Boy, Just My Puck, Our First Puck, Puck It Up, Puck in the oven? Big Puck energy? Oh my god, how many of these are there? They keep going on and on and on.